You know how AI always sounds so certain? The way it writes is just so fluent, so logical, perfectly formatted. But what happens when that super confident voice is telling you a complete and total lie? Okay, we're going to dive into this, because spotting the difference, that's not just a cool party trick anymore. It's one of the most vital skills you can have right now.
All right, take a look at these two. They're both AI-generated answers about how much time young people in Thailand spend online. Response A gives us an academic, Chansiri. Response B gives us a big-name organization, UNICEF. Just on a gut level, which one feels more credible to you, and why?
So what's the answer? It's response A, the one that cites Chansiri 2020. It's a complete fabrication. The source does not exist. The data is totally made up, and yet it looks just as plausible as the real stat from UNICEF, maybe even more academic. And that right there is the huge problem we're talking about today.
This whole phenomenon of an AI telling a confident, convincing lie, well, it actually has a name. It's called an AI hallucination. So let's demystify this ghost in the machine and break down what that really means.
Basically, an AI hallucination is when the model just makes stuff up. And it does it with absolute confidence. We're not talking about getting a tiny detail wrong. We're talking about producing information that is completely false, totally detached from reality, but presenting it like it's a known fact. It could be fake stats, made-up historical events, or, like we just saw, one of the most dangerous kinds, non-existent academic sources. Now, here's the part that might blow your mind. This isn't a bug. It's not something that's broken. It's actually a core feature of how these large language models are designed to work. They're basically expert guessers, predicting the most statistically probable next word in a sentence. They aren't built to know what's true. So when they hit a gap in their data, or when they're trying really hard to be helpful, they'll just invent information that looks and sounds right to fill that gap. Okay, let's try a little pop quiz. Here are 5 sources an AI might spit out for a paper on tech in Thailand. Just take a quick scan. How many of them do you think are real? Any guesses? And the results are in. Only 2 of them are real. Numbers 1, 4, and 5 are what we call ghost sources, completely made up. This just perfectly shows the point. Just because a citation is formatted beautifully doesn't mean it's real. Fluent writing is not and never will be the same as factual accuracy.
So, AI makes up sources. What's the big deal, right? Well, it's actually a huge deal. Let's talk about why, because this can lead to some incredibly high-stakes, real-world consequences.
I mean, the risks are serious. If you're a student, using a fake source is a major breach of academic integrity. Out in the real world, these AI facts can morph into misinformation that spreads like wildfire on social media. And if you're a professional, using made-up data in a report or presentation can absolutely torpedo your credibility.
And look, this is not a hypothetical. This isn't a what if. In 2023, the legal world was absolutely rocked by a case that showed just how fast that professional trust can completely evaporate because of AI hallucinations.
So get this, a law firm in New York used ChatGPT for research. They then submitted an official legal brief to a judge. The problem? That brief cited several other court cases to back up its argument, cases that the AI had completely invented. They didn't exist. The lawyers got sanctioned by the court and their professional reputations were just shattered. That's the real-world price of trusting without verifying.
Okay, that's the problem. And yeah, it's serious. But the good news is you can absolutely fight back. So let's shift gears. It's time to build your personal fact-checking toolkit and learn how to become a digital detective.
First off, you've got to learn how to spot these ghost sources in the wild. Look for these red flags. Does the DOI link go nowhere? Does the publisher's name sound kind of fake? Something like the Global Institute of Research? Is it missing key info like page numbers or a volume number? And here's the alternate test. Copy the exact title, put it in quotes, and search for it on Google Scholar. If you get 0 hits, that is a massive red flag. Okay, next up, the actual tools for your toolkit. Google Scholar should always be your first stop to see if a paper even exists. Cite.ai is really cool for checking how a real paper has been cited by other researchers. You know Snopes and AFP, they're your go-to for debunking viral stuff. If you want to use an AI that at least tries to give you real source links, give Perplexity.ai a look. And finally, Crossref is the place to go to verify a DOI link.
So all these digital tools are awesome. They're incredibly helpful. But honestly, They are not the most important tool in your arsenal. The ultimate AI detector is something you already have.
It really just comes down to this simple personal checklist. Number 1, verify every single source the AI gives you, no exceptions. Number 2, if you find a fake one, don't just delete it. Do the actual work and find a real source to back up your point. And number 3, disclose your process. A simple sentence like AI was used for brainstorming and all sources were manually verified goes a long way in building trust.
Because at the end of the day, this is the single most important takeaway. The tools help, for sure. But your own critical thinking, your own ability to pause, to question, to check, and to verify, that is, by far, the most powerful defense you have against this stuff.
So I'll leave you with this. From this moment on, whenever you use an AI, don't just ask, what's the answer? Ask yourself a much better question. Okay, the AI gave me an answer. Now, how can I prove it's true? Making that little shift in your thinking, that changes everything.